guys, this is Danny B. You're watching The Trash Dish. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Return of the Living Dead Necropolis and Return of the Living Dead Rave to the Grave. I figured I'd do both of these in one review just because they get so much hate and I think it's a little bit undeserved. For years I avoided these because the only scene I seen of them was of Tarman hitchhiking with a sign going to the rave. He has like a sign on the freeway and it says like rave or bus. And that's really cheesy. That's really stupid. And I'm someone too that I'm not a huge fan of part 2. Like part 2 is a little bit too cheesy for me. So seeing that, I'm like, oh my god, there's no way I'm watching that shit. But I misjudged because these are actually pretty fun movies. And although I do think that scene is pretty dumb, it doesn't bother me so much. Rave to the Grave, let me talk about that one first. It's probably the weaker of the two movies. I do like the vibe of this one more than the other one. Like to me, Rave setting for Return of the Living Dead movie is a better setting than like a science lab or whatever they're doing in Necropolis. But I do like the zombie scenes better in this one. This is the better movie in my opinion.
Joey, wake up. You're all missing out here. Sleepyhead. Just leaves more for me.
These are both sci-fi originals, I believe, but they do have a lot more gore and nudity on the DVDs. And these two have continuity. There's the same characters in both movies. And so the characters are a little bit weaker in this one. But what I will say is that the scene with Tarman coming out of the vat, that scene is completely awesome. Like, he actually looks really good the way they did him. Not so much in the hitchhiking scene. I mean, he still looks cool in the hitchhiking scene, but that's kind of cheesy. But when he first comes out of the the vat or whatever they're keeping him in, he looks awesome, and he goes like, brains! And they turn the trioxin into some kind of drug in this or something, and it's they're taking low doses so it doesn't affect them, but if they take too much, then it turns them into a zombie. I believe the reason these got made is because Land of the Dead came out. So this one has much more of a Land of the Dead type of feeling than this one. But the zombies, I don't recall if they run or not in this, because the original, they run, but I think these are more like the Romero zombies. They're shooting them in the head and everything, and they're dying. And the original one, you know, is pretty much impossible to kill them. Then I think in part 3, they do shoot the guy in the head and he dies. I don't know. But yeah, neither of these are as good as the original or even part 3, but they're still fun. I like them both better than part 2, honestly. So this one has much more of like a sci-fi movie original type of vibe going for it. And it's got a lot of cool zombie scenes. These kids go into like this, where they're creating the zombies, this Frankenstein kind of guy. And all these zombies in little prison cells and stuff, they all get loose. They're biting everyone and eating brains and yelling brains and everything. And overall, this is the better movie. I kind of wish it had a better soundtrack. There is one scene, I believe, where it's got like some metal music playing or something, but a lot of it is kind of just that generic Sci-Fi Channel military music, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So that kind of music kind of takes away from the Return of the Living Dead experience, but it's a lot better than people give it credit for. So I'm going to give this one 3 out of 5 stars. That's Return of the Living Dead, Rave to the Grave. And I'm going to give this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. That's Return of the Living Dead, Necropolis. And I forget which one is part 5 and which is 6. I think Rave to the Grave is part 6. Alright guys, this is Danny B. You're watching The Trash Dish. Let me know what you think of Return of the Living Dead, Necropolis, and Rave to the Grave. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.